Yes, I will hear you.
No, no, no. Unmute video, unmute. Thank you. Now you can also unmute me. Play on free classes. ॐ नित्यानन्दं परमस्तं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रीकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपी नवसनः शिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन् ऊतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनाम् अविद्यवतु सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। श्रीकान्तो मातुलो यस्य जननी सर्वमङ्गला जनकजरानम् यतिपो नामरूपाभ्यां देवी सर्वमङ्गला तयोः संस्मरणात् पुंसां सर्वतो भृतो वर्त्मा पुनर्जन्म भर्तामरज्योतिषां लोकानां प्रलयोद्भवस्थितिविभुश्चानेकधाय श्रुतौ वचं नः सददात्वनेककिरणस्त्रैलोक्यदीपो रविः। ॐ आदित्याय च सोमाय मंगलाय बुधाय गुरुशुक्रशनिभ्यश्च राहवे केतवे नमः। So we stopped yesterday. Can someone from what are covered till now?
Hello. Yesterday we finished till uh, one saptaha is 1 week. 2 pakshas is yesterday we finished. We stopped at 7 days is one saptaha. 15 days is
Mangala Maharaj, can you please check your message, please? Okay. So now you'll be able to hear how I think, right? Okay. We concluded until the Kala Chakra, the Ravi saw about the Rashi Mandala, and we saw that it is Kala Chakra as well. Literally, inside of the Kala Chakra only, we represent we divided the Kala Chakra into 12 parts and made it into Rashi Mandala. So, since this Jyotish Shastra is Hora Shastra, it's a study of time. So, what is the connection between the Rashis and the Hora? Means time. We already saw that one day means 124 hours round the clock. ஒரு நாள். One day consists of 24 horas. And also, when you say 24 hours, we say always, we also say usually round the clock. It's a way of saying. So that also is 360 degree. So all this 24 horas also are inside of this Rashi Mandala. So the whole of the 24 hours is divided by these 12 Rashis. 24 divided by 24 horas divided by 12 Rashis is equal to what? It is 2 horas per Rashi. So 2 hours, approximately 2 horas per Rashi for one Rashi is equal to, we derive something out of it, right? So 24 horas divided by 12 Rashis. So we come up with a new unit called 2 horas per Rashi. This 2 horas per Rashi is called Lagna. This 2 horas per Rashi is called Lagna. So, right, for in a day, the whole day is divided into 12 Lagnas. Each Lagna is ruled by one Rashi. Okay. So from sunrise to sunrise. So let us take sunrise to be, for example, 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 a.m. in the morning. So from 6 a.m. today, 6 a.m. today morning till tomorrow 6 a.m. 5:59, we have 24 hours, and the 24 hours are divided into 12 lagnas. Each lagna corresponds to one Rashi. Let us take sunrise is at 6 a.m. Please everybody Please follow. Each point is more important because uh, sunrise it at 6 o'clock on the beginning of the first day of the first month of a year. On the first day of the first month of an year, the sun rises at 6 a.m. and that first from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the first day of the first month of the year, it is Mesha Masa. Sorry, Mesha Lagna. Sorry, it is Mesha Lagna, the first Rashi. This after the Mesha Lagna is over, from after 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, it will be Rishabha Lagna. Then 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock will be Mithuna Lagna. Then next 2 hours will be Kataka Lagna, Simha Lagna, Kanya Lagna, Tula Lagna, etc. until Meena Lagna. So this cycle starting. So we saw the first day of the first month. What is the first month of a year? If for any year, first month is, when is the first year beginning? Year is calculated based on three or four varieties. One is the solar month, second one is lunar month. It is solar means, so based on Surya. Based on Surya, it is Sauramana Masa. Based on the movement of sun, Surya, it is Sauramana Masa. Next, based on the movement of moon, Chandra, Chandramana Masa. These are the important ways that are being followed. There are other two ways which are based on Nakshatras movement central. So we will not go into that, which we predominantly we do not use on the modern day as of now. Modern day or in our religious rituals everywhere. So it is only Chandramana and Sauramana that we calculate a year, calculate the calendar. That keeping the sun as a constant means constant means keeping everything is moving, but to start with, to take one graha which is sun, another one start with take one graha that is moon. So in this Sauramana Masa, the first day usually happens, the first day of a year usually happens either on April 13th or April 14th or April 15th. So which we call Tamil New Year or Vishu or Baishakhi in the Bengali. There are so many states even within India follow that solar calendar, keeping April 14th, 13 or 14 or 15, whichever day it falls, that day as the beginning of the year. That is solar year. Another one is the beginning of the year is being Yugadi. I am not getting into the details of the differences within the lunar calendar, Chandramana calendar. I am taking now the Sauramana calendar. So the Sauramana, the word Sauramana comes from two words, Surya and Mana. Mana means measurement. Sauramana means measurement calculation based on Surya. So that is what we are everyday chanting during the Sankalpa. Mesha Mase, Rishabha Mase, Uttarayane, Lakshmi Venkatesh Ruto, Mesha Mase. This now currently we are saying Mithuna Mase. So similarly, this is based on when we say Mesha Masa, then next month is Rishabha Masa. That is based on, the name itself is based on the position of Surya in that Rashi. On the first, throughout the Mesha Masa, when the sun rises, when the Suryodaya happens, that moment sun will be in Mesha Lagna. Hope we are on the same page, understanding. Throughout the Mesha Masa, during the Suryodaya, Surya will be in the Mesha Lagna. This does not mean that the position of the sun will be same as on Mesha Masa date 1 and the Mesha Masa date 30, both will be same. But however, the Suryodaya Kala will be during Mesha Lagna. The day when Suryodaya's time happens in the Rishabha Lagna, the month will also be called as Rishabha Masa. Same way, the day from the day when during the Suryodaya, the Suryodaya happens in the Mithuna Lagna, the month will be called as Mithuna Masa, and so on. So through this we understand how we name a month, or in other words, in a simpler words, throughout the Mesha Masa, Surya will be in Mesha Rashi, and the Suryodaya will happen in the Mesha Lagna. Okay. Now, are we understanding till now? Can somebody unmute and talk?
Yes, Swami.
Okay. Now, I said during the first day of Mesha Masa, which is the first month of the year, the Suryodaya will happen in the Mesha Lagna. So the same way, the first day of the second month, Rishabha Masa, the Suryodaya will happen in the Rishabha Lagna. Then does that mean that Surya will suddenly, on the day of the beginning of the second month, Rishabha Masa, suddenly jump into the Rishabha Rashi? No. Surya is constantly moving. All the grahas, not a single graha is stationary. All grahas are moving. And hence, the Surya is also moving even from the day of date 1 of Mesha Masa. He also, Surya Deva is also continuously moving towards Rishabha Masa. So, as we already saw, each Rashi is 30 degrees. So, the time period taken for Surya to cross 30 degrees in the Rashi Chakra or in the sky is 1 month. So, in 30 days, he crosses 30 degrees. So, each day he moves 1 degree towards the next Rashi. This means the first day, the whole of the Lagna will be, the Mesha Lagna will be for solid 2 hours. Means the Suryodaya, as the Suryodaya happens, the Mesha Lagna also begins, and it is 2 hours. Both are 2 hours. From the day 2, the Mesha Lagna, if you see, the Mesha Lagna would have started even before sunrise. This goes on and on until the day 29 or 30 or 31, whichever last date. For the last date of the month, immediately after the Suryodaya, within few minutes itself, the Lagna will change to Rishabha Lagna. The day when Mesha Lagna completely moves before the sunrise, and during the sunrise, Rishabha Lagna happens. That month is called Rishabha Masa. You may not be understanding this because you are not seeing it physically, the chart movement, everything. However, through this explanation, I'm trying to say one thing, like how grahas, we all know that grahas are moving. Same way, Lagna also moves. Okay. In a day, Lagna keeps on moving. The time period taken for Lagna is represented by the word la, by the letter la, or one diagonally by a forward slash within any one of the box. If you see any forward slash in any one of the box, understand that is the Lagna. For example, in the right hand side corner top box, if you see a cross forward slash, it means that it is Mithuna Lagna is being represented. Now, for that forward slash sign to move around the Kala Chakra, along the Rashi Mandala, it takes 24 horas or 1 day. Hence, throughout the day, in a full day, we have the influence of all the 12 Rashis. The influence of 12 Rashis do happen in every day. They keep on changing. They will be keeping on changing, and that time, the time during which a specific Rashi's influence happens at that time, it is called that Lagna. For example, let us take today. Let us take for today, 28th of June. Today sunrise in Biddi is 5:56 a.m. Sunset is 6:50 p.m. Just now sunsets. Now, if you see the Lagna, today morning from 5 a.m. even before the sunrise until 7:16 a.m. it is Mithuna Lagna, because this is Mithuna Masa. Now, currently running is Dhanur Lagna from 5:48 p.m. till 7:55 p.m. It is Dhanur Lagna. So, anybody born at between this time, let us take time is 6:51 p.m. now. Anybody born at say 6:51 p.m. at this moment, they will have the influence of Dhanur Lagna. They will have the influence of Dhanur Rashi, which we call as Dhanur Lagna. In their Jataka, in the horoscope birth chart, we will see the forward slash would have happened at this in the Dhanur Rashi. So similarly, like how the Rashi in the Rashi Mandala, the Lagna moves, all the other Rashis also, all the other Grahas also move. So we till now we saw Kala Chakra, and in the Kala Chakra, Rashis are positioned, and inside of the Rashis, we have in each Rashi we have 9 padas of nakshatras are positioned. Now the another one thing that we learned, the Navagrahas, how are they linked within this box, within this chart? Like how Lagna keeps on moving, same way Navagrahas also keep moving. The time taken for Lagna to move one complete 360 degree, that is starting for, if it is in the Mesha Rashi today, at this moment. For it to come back to Mesha Rashi, it takes 24 hours. It is for Lagna. Same way for Surya, for it to go round 360 degrees, it takes 1 month. Please make note. Surya takes, I'm sorry, I'm correcting. So I'm rephrasing this, whatever I'm telling. For a Lagna to cross one Rashi, it takes 2 hours. Same way, for Surya to cross one Rashi, that is 30 degrees, it takes 1 month. So for Surya to cross 360 degrees, it takes 12 months, which is 1 year. So now I'm going to talk only in terms of 1 month or 1 Rashi, because we have already segmented the whole of the Rashi Mandala into 12 Rashis. So anything, how much ever time a Graha takes to move cross one Rashi, multiplied by 12, it will take to across the whole of the Kala Chakra Rashi Mandala. So Chandra takes 2.5 days. These are approximate. I am not getting into the exact details of 2 days, 37 minutes, all these things. I am not going into the minutes and seconds. Just approximately 2.5 days Chandra takes to cross one Rashi. Kuja takes 1.5 months to cross one Rashi. Next is Buddha takes 1 month to cross one Rashi. Next is Guru takes 1 year to cross one Rashi. Next is Shani takes 2.5 years to cross one Rashi. The next is Rahu. It takes 1.5 years to cross one Rashi. Next, Ketu takes 1.5 years to cross one Rashi. Finally, I missed one more thing. Shukra. Shukra takes 1 month to cross one Rashi.
Ambasami,
Yes, Maharaj.
can you repeat for Kuja?
Yeah, I'll be repeating I'll repeat the whole thing again once again. Surya takes 1 month. Chandra takes 2.5. Sorry, 2.5, or to be more precise, 2.25 means 2.25 of a day. It is between 2.25 to 2.5. So a little less than 2.5 days. Puja takes 1.5 months. Buddha takes 1 month. Guru takes 1 year. Shukra takes 1 month. Shani takes 2.5 years. Rahu takes 1.5 years. Ketu takes 1.5 years to cross one Rashi. This means Surya will stay in one Rashi for 1 month. Chandra will stay in one Rashi for 2.25 to 2.5 days. Kuja will stay in a Rashi for 1.5 months. Buddha will stay in a Rashi for 1 month. Guru will stay in a Rashi for 1 year. Shukra will stay in a Rashi for 1 month. Shani will stay in a Rashi for 2.5 years. Rahu will stay in a Rashi for 1.5 years. Ketu will stay in a Rashi for 1.5 years. Clear? So same way, Lagna will stay in a Rashi for approximately 2 hours. Are we clear understanding this much? The movement, the connection between.
Yes.
So in this, the nakshatra do not move. Nakshatras, we keep nakshatras as the constant. Are we seeing now? Nakshatras, nakshatras are, because only nakshatras are constant, Rashis are constant. Keeping that as constant, movement of grahas are calculated, are shown. So next thing that we will be seeing in this session is, these are the basic things what all we anybody who learns Jyotish Shastra and must know. These are the very very basic things. We saw one day how it is divided into 12 horas. Next thing we saw, based on that hora, we told one hora is equal to 2.5 nadika, and one nadika is equal to 24 minutes. One muhurta is equal to 2 nadikas is equal to 2 nadikas is equal to 48 minutes. So one lagna is equal to 5 nadikas. One lagna is equal to 5 nadikas, because 2.5 plus 2.5. How this lagna moves, we saw. Now next, a day, one day is over. Now 7 days is equal to 1 week. That is 7 days is equal to 1 saptaha. Each day is ruled by one graha. Sunday is ruled by Surya. Monday is ruled by Chandra. Tuesday is ruled by Kuja. Wednesday is ruled by Buddha. Next, Thursday is ruled by Guru. Friday is ruled by Shukra. Saturday is ruled by Shani. Because in the first session itself, when we were talking about the Navagrahas, we saw only the 7 grahas have a physical representation. Rahu and Ketu do not have a physical body. They are only Chaya grahas, shadows, which are powerful energies which do have impact on life, and hence they do not influence one full day, any one day of a week. Next, 15 days makes one paksha. So how do we call this one paksha? One paksha consists of, one paksha starts with the day after new moon day or full moon day. That is the day after Prathama, sorry, day after the Amavasya or Paurnami, which is Prathama. From that day for until the next full moon or new moon day, it is one paksha. So one paksha, the movement of one paksha is based on the movement of Chandra. The movement of Lagna is based on movement of Surya. The movement of Paksha is based on the movement of Chandra. So the 15 days it takes for one Paksha. 15 days we do, when we cut off the 15, one Paksha divided by 15, one Paksha divided by 15 parts is called one Tithi. What is a Tithi? Tithi is 1/15th of a Paksha. So we have Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya. As the name suggests, Prathama means first, Dvitiya means second, Tritiya means third, Chaturthi means fourth, Panchami means fifth, Shashti means sixth, Saptami means seventh.
Nityanand Swami, we can continue.
Okay. So 1 tithi is equal to 1/15th of paksha. Each tithi is called by the number name. Prathama means first. Same way until Chaturdashi. 40. Chaturdashi means 14th. It is simply called as first, second, third. That is the meaning of the word name. Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, Ekadashi, Dvadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and the 15th being either Paurnami, or which we also called as Purnima, or Amavasya. These are the tithis. So we now saw the grahas are keeping on moving, lagnas are keeping on moving, tithis are changing. But how do I know? How can I get to know about this? Even suppose I'm saying today is Sunday, because we are we have a continuity, and we do have some device which says today is Sunday. Suppose all of us have gone in, somebody, not necessarily all of us, somebody has gone into coma for 20-30 days. He lost time, the orientation about time, and he is in a place where he does not have contact with anybody. How does he know that suddenly that day will be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday? He will not know anything. So you need something to refer to, where you can know whether it is even today is Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. How do we know today is Sunday? Because yesterday was Saturday, today is Sunday. How do we know yesterday was Saturday, the previous day was Friday? So only by knowing what has happened, it is given to us, it is passed on from tradition after tradition, and the continuity is shared with us, and we get to know what day it is. Same way, what date it is, what tithi it is, where the graha positions are standing, all these are handed over from our Purvacharyas, ancestors, one after the other in a sequential manner and through the Guru Parampara. The place where it is stored, this information is stored, is called Panchangam. Panchangam is the place, Panchangam is the domain where Panchangam is the storage facility created by our ancestors to store the details about the everyday's various grahas positions, various parameters of this Jyotish Shastra. So what are all the things that are basic thing for Panchanga? Means what will make a Panchanga? Should it mention every minute how many degrees it crosses? All these, not necessarily. One Panchanga will have 5 components: Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, Karana. Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, and Karana. These 5 put together is called Panchanga. Pancha means 5, Anga means limbs. Limb means part, body part, like that. Panchanga. So the 5 parts that make the Panchanga are Tithi. Number 1, Tithi. Next is Vara, Vasara. Which Vasara? Which day it is? Tithi, Vara. Third is Nakshatra. Next is Yoga, and next is Karana. So in this 5 Panchanga, in the Panchangas, what is Tithi? We saw Tithi is 1/15th of one Paksha. This one Paksha is the time taken for Chandra to grow fully from Amavasya, or from or to wane completely get disappeared from the day of Purnima. So the time taken, by Chandra to grow or to reduce, to wane and wax is one paksha. So the tithis are Prathama until Chaturdashi and then 15th being Paurnami or Amavasya. Tithi is over. Vara. Vara, how many Vasaras are there? Vasara, Bhanuvasara, Somavasara, Mangalavasara, Buddhavasara, Guruvasara, Shukravasara, Shanivasara or Thiravasara. 7 days are there. Iti Vara. Then Nakshatra. Nakshatra we saw Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigashira, Ardra, Punarvasu, Pushya, etc. until Revati. Iti Vara Nakshatra. The other two being Yoga and Karana. Okay. Now we also every day chant during the Sankalpa Yoga Karana. We suddenly say Dhriti Yoga, Vanija Karana, we chant. What is this Yoga and Karana? Yoga is another component, Karana is another component or derivative which has impact on, influence on time, influence on the quality of time, influence on life. Okay, so there are totally 27 yogas. The word yoga has so many meanings. You need to understand the word yoga based on the context, based on the field where we are studying and the context within the field we are studying. When we say yoga, in Bhagavad Gita, we say karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, etc. When we do it physically, we say hatha yoga, raja yoga, and the yoga asanas. Okay. When we come to Jyotish Shastra, we say 27 yogas starting from Vishkambha. Vishkambha yoga, Preeti yoga until Vaidhriti yoga. Same way in the Jyotish Shastra itself, there is another way, another connotation that we use the word yoga for. Swamiji would have used it in the satsang Kala Sarpa Yoga. Right? Yoga means, the word yoga literally means union or joining. We know yoga means uniting with Paramashiva. Right? So the different combinations, yoga means joining, the different combinations, different joining of various grahas, various combinations, each are all called the yoga. Swamiji on the day of the Grahana, during the eclipse, Swamiji said the word called Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga, Kala Sarpa Yoga, he told. All these are combinations of grahas which have a effect. Suppose we have milk is there and one drop of lime juice, that is one drop of lemon juice is added to it. What will happen? The milk will get curdled. When two combine, when carbon is there, oxygen is there, when they both undergo a change by joining, they become carbon dioxide. Right? Same way that another connotation of yoga is also there existing in the Jyotish Shastra. As of now, we are going to talk about the 27 yogas of the Panchanga. There are 27 yogas. You can note them down. As I say, Vishkambha yoga. I will not say yoga every time. I will tell the name of the yoga. Vishkambha. Next is Preeti. Next is Ayushman. Next is Saubhagya. Next is Shobhana. Next is Atiganda. Next is Sukarma. Next is Dhriti. 8th one is Shula. 10th one is Ganda. 11th one is Vriddhi. 12th one is Dhruva. 13th one is Vyaghata. 14th one is Harshana. 15th one is Vajra. 16th one is Siddhi. 17th one is Vyatipada. 18th one is Variya. 19th one is Parigha. 20th one is Shiva. 21st is Siddha. 22nd is Sadhya. 23rd is Shubha. 24th is Shubhra. 25th is Brahma. 26th is Aindra. And 27th is Vaidhriti. These are the 27 yogas. Again say Vishkambha, Preeti, Ayushman, Saubhagya, Shobhana, Atiganda, Sukarma, Dhriti, Shula, Ganda, Vriddhi, Dhruva, Vyaghata, Harshana, Vajra, Siddhi, Vyatipada, Variya, Parigha, Shiva, Siddha, Sadhya, Shubha, Shubhra, Brahma, Aindra, and Vaidhriti. 27 yogas. Now, the fifth component of a Panchanga is called the Karana. The Karanas are totally 11 in numbers. Grahas are 9, Rashis are 12, Nakshatras are 27, Tithis are 15, Yogas are 27, Karanas are 11. The 11 Karanas are Bhava, number 2 Balava, number 3 Kaulava, number 4 Taitula or Taitila or Taitula, number 5 Garaja, number 6 Vanija, number 7 Bhadra. Bhadra is also called as Vishti, Bhadra. Number 8 Shakuni. Number 9 Chatushpada. Number 10 Nagava. Number 11 Kimstughna. These are the 11 Karanas. In technical terms, if we want to talk in technical terms, how to define all these? Tithi. Tithi is calculated based on the lunar day. It is not calculated on the solar day. It is based on the lunar day, along with the rising and the setting of moon in the sky. Tithi is the time period during which the moon gains or moves 12 degrees or integral multiples in the I'm talking in the like a definition. When you say a definition, you talk in a technical words. So I am talking that word. Or integral, the time period taken by moon to forward 12 degrees are integral multiples of it in the longitude on the sun. The vara, a vasara or the vara starts with the sunrise and until the next day sunrise. Next is paksha. Paksha we already saw. Nakshatra. Nakshatra. Now what is a nakshatra? Or how do we say one nakshatra is prevalent at this time? Nakshatra, when we say nakshatra, nakshatra's names are there. But how do we know? We say, if you see in the Panchanga, it will say today morning 7:15 a 7:15 7 o'clock 15 minutes 37 seconds. Until that time Ashwini is there. After that Bharani is happening. How do we calculate that? How that calculation is derived? The calculation of the influence or the impact of a nakshatra, and hence the mention of the nakshatra on a specific day is said to be because of the nakshatra, the time taken by the moon to traverse a segment of 13.33 degrees or the integral multiples of the Nirayana calendar, that is a calculation without the movement of sun in the Rashi Mandala. So 13.33 multiplied by 27, how much it comes? 13.33 multiplied by 27 is 359.91, which is approximately 360 degrees. So the influence of, we saw the Lagna moving, we saw the Grahas moving, how much time it takes, how much degree it takes. For a nakshatra, nakshatras happening is for 13.33 degrees. Next is nakshatra, is that is star in relation to moon. That is what we saw. We did not see now whatever the calculation that we saw. Now the 13.33 degrees is in relation with the movement of the moon, in relation with the movement of the Chandra. Then what is yoga? Technicality. Yoga is calculated from the sum, that is SUM sum of the Nirayana longitudes of the sun and the moon. Nirayana means without the calculation of the movement of sun. It is a technical word, it is a jargon, it is a factor. So what is Nirayana? You'll have to learn it. Yes, Mangala Maharaj. Okay. So yoga is calculated from the sum of the Nirayana longitudes of the sun and the moon. When the sum of the Nirayana longitudes of the sun and the moon totals sums up to 13.33 degrees, the first yoga ends. When it amounts to 26.66 degrees, that is 2 into 13.33 degrees, the second yoga ends. Hence, there are 27 yogas covering the 360 degrees. Then what is the Karana? The Karana is the time measure which is half of a yoga. Karana is the time period. Yes.
Ambasami, can you explain that Karna thing again?
Yeah, I am only starting again Karana. I did not say Karana, it's in the yoga.
Can you say, can you tell about the yoga, what to understand?
Yoga is calculated. Yoga is a derivative. For anybody who has learnt some calculus, you will be understanding in mathematics. So when you learn, you will be understanding this whatever I am saying as well. There is a small change that you take delta x. So the rate of change of the delta x with respect to the x itself, we call it as delta d of delta x by x, which we call as dy by dx. You derive something out of it and you work on that. The derivative of one function is very much powerful to calculate something else. That is why in the physics we work with the derivatives, the derivative of an equation or the derivative of a the integrated derivation or the differentiated derivation of a equation or for a function. You derive, and that will give you some other understanding to know what is going to happen or how the calculations will function. Same way, yoga is a derivative. Yoga, how the derivative happens? The derivative is yoga is equal to the value of Nirayana longitude, the degree value of the longitude is always in the degrees, right? The Nirayana longitude of sun plus the Nirayana longitude of the moon. The sum of this is called one yoga. So one yoga. When do we say that one yoga is over, or how much degrees in the Rashi Mandala one yoga takes? It is 13.33 degrees one yoga takes. So what is a karana? We'll say in the next session. Let me finish only one sentence about the yoga. So the first 13.33 degrees is first yoga. Then after the 13.33 degrees, from 13.34 degrees to 26.66 degrees, it is the second yoga. Next yoga. So it keeps on. So if you cut the 360 degrees divided by 13.33 degrees, you will have approximately 27 numbers. These are 27 yogas. When you divide 360 degrees divided by 12, you have 12 rashis. Same way, when you divide the 360 degrees divided by 13.33 degrees, you get yoga. What is a karana? The technical definition of it. Let's see tomorrow. This technical definition is just for understanding. That's all I am saying. This may not be directly useful in calculation or assessing, understanding how the influence happens and all. Astronomy and astrology are very much interconnected. Based on the astronomy, astrology is told. Means based on the movement calculations, the calculation of the predictions are also told. So how it happens, let's see in the further sessions. So we conclude the session with the chanting of the Astanirakana mantra and the Purna mantra. Om Namo Brahmane Dharanam Me Astanirakranam Dharayita Bhuyasam Karnayo Shrutam Machyo Dhamma Mamushya Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you everyone. Nityanandam.